My next guests have worked to expose the deep state. Joining us now, Jennifer Bachner. She is Director of Government Analytics at Johns Hopkins University. Benjamin Ginsberg, Professor of Political Science, Chair of the Johns Hopkins Center for Advanced Governmental Studies. They are the co-authors of this book. Authors of the book, What Washington Gets Wrong, the Unelected Officials Who Actually Run the Government, Their Misconceptions About the American People. Jennifer, Benjamin, thank you both for being here.
We're delighted to be here.
Let me just turn first to you, Jennifer. You've surveyed agencies, federal agencies, startling results. If we can put up the full screen so everybody can see this, 73% of government officials saying the public knows little about programs to help the poor. 71% of federal officials say the public knows little about science. 6 in 10 think the public know nothing about child care policy. These folks don't have a very high opinion of the rest of us, do they?
That's true in some respects, but I think one of our most interesting findings is that government officials often assume that their views on policy matters are far more different from the American people than they are in reality. And we call this phenomenon in the book false uniqueness. And we actually found that 75% of government officials think that they disagree with the average American on most issues, but really that number is only about 12%.
And these are the people who are running the government for the elected, the political officials who take over the government every 4 years or retain control of it. Benjamin, give us a sense of just how much this deep state preserves control. How powerful is their influence on our lives?
Well, look, the vision of government that we all take away from high school and college is false. The government is not run by the president, not run by Congress. The president and Congress sort of interfere superficially, but the government of the United States is, on a day-to-day basis, run by enormous bureaucracies surrounded by constellations of think tanks and lobbyists and consultants, and these folks march to their own agenda. One of the things we did in the book was compare the agendas, the regulatory and rulemaking agendas of bureaucratic agencies to public opinion, to Congress's agenda. What we discovered was the agencies march according to their own drummers. They will bow to the president, bow to Congress briefly, but generally speaking, when the agencies issue their thousands of rules and regulations every year, they do so on the basis of what they think should be done.
And this book that you two co-authored makes it very clear why we need to drain the swamp, folks, and I recommend it to you highly. There is these relationships, as you say, with the elected officials, but overall, the view of the bureaucracy, the permanent government, the deep state, is it not closer to left-wing ideology than right-wing? Is that fair, Jennifer?
Well, we certainly find that there's a divide between the people who really run the government and the people. And in the book, we offer several proposals that we think can help bridge this divide.
Yes, but I ask about the ideology of the permanent government. Surely that's important because we need to know who these people are if they're going to run our government in perpetuity without disruption.
That's fair. I mean, I think on average they're left of center, but I'm sure it varies by administration.
I thought you said that administrations don't make much difference in the deep state and the permanent bureaucracy. Benjamin, you get the last word here.
I would say that they tend to be more Democratic than Republican, but interestingly enough, they're all over the map. What's clear about them is that they like being in charge. They only talk to one another. They have contempt for ordinary Americans, and they have disdain for Congress and usually for the president as well. This isn't my vision of government by the people.
Benjamin Ginsberg, thanks so much for being with us. Jennifer Bachner, thank you. Both have agreed to come back and have a longer discussion about the deep state that they have encountered and written about in their important book, What Washington Gets Wrong. Thanks for being with us.